So friends, a brand new Trump-appointed judge, one who was confirmed just 2 weeks ago, Judge Kyle Dudek, just ruled against the Trump administration in an immigration case. So I guess we should expect in the coming days a post from Donald Trump saying that Judge Dudek is a radical left-wing lunatic judge that I just appointed. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, a brand new Trump-appointed judge just joined a rising chorus of federal judges who are ruling that the Trump administration is wrongfully using a particular law to deny immigrants access to the courts. Now friends, before I turn to the new reporting, let me say this. This article I'm about to share with you didn't come from mainstream media, corporate media, legacy media, the cable news networks. No, I could only find it on independent media, specifically on Substack, on a site or a page called Migrant Insider. And friends, this continues to prove the point that independent media is the wave, not just of the future, but the wave of the present. So I will post a link in the description of this video to Migrant Insider on Substack, and I hope you'll consider visiting that page. So with that in mind, here is the new reporting by Migrant Insider. Another Trump judge rebels against mass deportations. Judge Kyle Dudek joins a wave of jurists slamming Trump's misuse of mandatory detention, ruling ICE likely locked up a longtime Florida resident under the wrong law. A Trump-appointed federal judge, confirmed just 2 weeks ago, has joined a growing chorus of jurists rejecting the Trump administration's sweeping use of mandatory immigration detention. In an order issued Thursday, U.S. District Judge Kyle Dudek granted limited emergency relief to Marvin Hernandez Lopez, a longtime Florida resident held without bond after a workplace arrest. Lopez, who has lived in the U.S. since 2013, is married with children and runs a small business. He's seeking a waiver of unlawful presence from U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, but instead found himself locked inside Glades Detention Center under a statute that requires mandatory detention for arriving aliens. Judge Dudek ruled that there is a substantial likelihood Lopez is being held under the wrong law, one meant for migrants at the border, not those with deep roots in the country. That finding echoes recent decisions in Michigan, Kentucky, Texas, Maine, and Arizona, where judges have ordered ICE to provide hearings or release detainees in similar cases. And friends, let's turn right to Judge Dudek's order, and I'm only going to read 2 or 3 sentences to give you the flavor of it. It is a pretty dense legal ruling analyzing 2 separate immigration statutes, one that is basically meant for people who are apprehended at the border, and others that are meant for people who have been in the United States, have established roots, and, depending on in which category a particular immigrant is placed, there are pretty dramatically different rights that the immigrant has when they are taken into custody. So against that backdrop, here is just a little bit of what Judge Dudek said. Turning to the merits of the case, Lopez, that is the petitioner, Marvin Hernandez Lopez, has shown a substantial likelihood of success. Boiled down, Lopez alleges that he is unlawfully held under Section 1225b2, that's the law that governs arriving aliens, which mandates his detention, instead of under a separate law, Section 1226a's discretionary detention scheme, where he could be eligible for release. And as a result, his continued detention without a bond hearing is unconstitutional. And Judge Dudek concludes in part, Lopez has demonstrated irreparable injury in the absence of immediate relief. Quote, "It is well established that the deprivation of constitutional rights unquestionably constitutes irreparable injury." So friends, newly minted Trump-appointed Judge Dudek ruled against the Trump administration and granted, in part, the relief that Marvin Hernandez Lopez sought. And as the reporting indicates, judges in Michigan, Kentucky, Texas, Maine, and Arizona have similarly ruled against the Trump administration. Because justice matters. Points of light, friends, they're out there, even if you have to go to independent media to find them. And friends, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.